oh, rice water can give me really long, really strong hair, the best hair of my life, but it might also kill me in the process. It's Lana here, and today I am finally going to be answering all of your questions about rice water. So about a year ago now, I posted a series of videos about this hair growth treatment that I had been using called rice water. It's a really ancient remedy that people in the world have been using to grow their hair to record-breaking lengths, and it's something that I started using and I saw real benefits to my hair, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I didn't expect to have such an amazing response to that video. One of those videos has over 3 million views, which is probably by far my most viewed video ever. So to this day, I'm still getting so many questions about rice water, and I decided just to compile like 10 or so questions that are the most common questions I get and just answer them all in this video, just so that you guys are really clear on rice water, how to use it, the benefits, the dangers, everything. So I literally wrote them down because I just have a lot. So one of the main questions, number one, is how often should you use rice water? And this comes hand in hand with another question I get a lot, is if you use rice water too much, can it damage your hair? And the answer is yes. I'm sure I've mentioned this in a lot of the videos, but essentially rice water is a protein treatment. It's not a conditioner or anything like that. It's protein. And if you put too much protein into your hair can be bombarded and it can become brittle and it can break. So I recommend that you use rice water no more than once a week, and you will find that different people's hair can take different amounts. So if you feel as though your hair is fine and you want to use it more, then that's up to you to decide. So my recommendation is that it's going to be different for everybody, but once a week is plenty. That's enough. You don't need any more than that. And what it will do when it's just at the right amount, it will give your hair enough protein so that it's strong, and it's going to strengthen your hair and help it to grow longer without overpowering it. You need to just reach the balance. Once a week for me is safe, it's fine, it's helpful, it's beneficial. So number two, is rice water supposed to stink? If it doesn't stink, does it work? So here's my answer to you. You can use plain rice water that you've left sitting for half an hour, or you can leave it to ferment. And anything that's fermented is gonna start to smell really pungent. It's gonna stink, and that's how you know it's fermented. If your rice water isn't stinky, then it's not fermented. So I had another question that was like, oh, I left it overnight, but it wasn't stinky. So I think the answer to you is your house super cold? If it's refrigerated, then that can kind of halt the fermentation process. And another thing is maybe you just need to leave it longer, because it doesn't necessarily ferment overnight, not just over 24 hours. You might even need to leave it 2 days, find it really fermenting, you open it up and it smells really bad. You also want to make sure that you do have a lid over the top of it just to keep all of that process contained, because if you don't have a lid on it, I guess the smell is going to evaporate into the air. Like, you might have to really bury your nose in it and you can smell it at room temperature with a tight lid on it, airtight, and then that should ferment it and it should become stronger, and it will be smelly. Some people didn't want to use it. They said, oh no, it smells. That's normal. It does smell. It smells really bad. So another question that I get a lot is it better to have plain rice water or fermented? So I would always opt for fermented rice water, because the fermentation process just really heightens all of that nutrients. So all of the nutrients that were in the plain rice water, as soon as you ferment them, they become so much more potent, so much more strong. So they have a better effect on your hair after that. Number 4, somebody says, is it a good idea to leave the rice water on your hair? And they say, can you wash your hair with rice water? So in one of the videos a while back, I gave you a few options on how you can use rice water, and there were a few different options. And for me, I was just using it as a rinse to rinse through my hair and as a washout treatment. So these days I stick to washing it out. I recommend washing it out because it does smell. It smells really bad. So I wouldn't want to leave that sitting in my hair for any great length of time with without washing it out. I would do the treatment and then I would wash it out and follow through with products that smell better, because I don't want to smell like rice water. It's not a good smell. Anyone who's made it, you guys know it's not good. It does not smell good. So just wash it out, follow through. I would just do it as a treatment once a week, a treatment. I personally, I don't use rice water that often anymore. I would use it maybe once a month right now, because I feel like my hair feels pretty strong. If ever I feel like my hair is starting to feel weak, I'll do a rice water treatment to really strengthen my hair, and then I'll wash it out. Next question is, how long can you grow your hair using rice water? So if you look at the record holders who attribute their hair growth to rice water, they're literally record holders. Their hair is so long, so long, and they say that it's rice water that does that. I don't know how long I can grow my hair with rice water, because I'm not trying to have record-breaking long hair. You know, I just want to keep my hair the way it is. I cut my hair, I trim my hair, I keep it like, you know, this kind of length. It's this long right now. So I don't know. And obviously hair growth is different on every individual. What I will say, and that I believe, is that with rice water and all of its nutrients and the way that it strengthens your hair using protein, amino acids and all of that good stuff, it will help you to grow your hair. I can't tell you how long your hair is going to grow, because everybody is different. It doesn't mean that your hair is suddenly going to become Rapunzel length, because that's not for everybody. But I think that your hair will have a more of a fighting chance of getting longer if you use something like rice water in your routine. Just don't overdo it. Another question that I get is that besides growth, what other benefits do I see? These days, I feel like my hair is long enough. I'm not necessarily using rice water to grow my hair long. What I use it for is when my hair starts to feel weak. Something like that, like I just feel like it needs strengthening. So I would use rice water to strengthen my hair. And like I said, don't use it too often. If you use rice water and you start to notice the opposite, if you notice that your hair feels stiff or hard or dry, then either stop using it or use it a lot less often. Because it could mean that your hair is protein sensitive, or it could mean that your hair is low porosity. Because what rice water does is it puts another barrier over your hair, it puts another shield over your hair, which is going to help lock moisture in and prevent your hair from going frizzy, because it's really locked it and smoothed everything down. If your hair is a low porosity anyway, which means that you have a tough time getting your hair moisturized, you have a tough time getting it wet. If your hair is already low porosity and then you put rice water on top as another barrier, then you're gonna have a really tough time getting your hair wet, and you're gonna have a really tough time trying to deeply nourish your hair, because you've got the barrier of the rice water on your hair and you've got low porosity hair. So it's just two barriers to getting your hair nourished. So I did have a few questions like, why doesn't it work for me and all of that. So it could be, if you have low porosity hair, that could be a reason. I have another question. Somebody says, is it hard to make? The answer is no. No, it's not hard to make. It's really easy to make. I have a few videos with the instructions. You literally just leave your rice sitting in water, leave it overnight, you have rice water. The question is, does it really work? Yes, I believe that it works. It's another one of those home remedies where it's hard to find concrete evidence online anywhere. I don't think the scientists are really paying attention to this because there's bigger problems in the world. So we just have to go off of old wives' tales, and we just have to go off the evidence that gets presented to us, like the Yao women and testimonies like me. I want to show you things that work. I show you things that I've tried myself. If I'm experimenting for the first time, I will tell you I'm experimenting for the first time and I've never done this before, and let's do it together, let's see if it works. You know, there's those kind of videos, but then there are the videos where I give you tips and I show you DIYs and I show you the products that I like, and that's a completely different thing. That's me having tried something and showing you. So for me, I feel like rice water works. If it didn't work, I wouldn't use it and I wouldn't tell you to use it. One of the main reasons why it works is because it contains B vitamins, amino acids, antioxidants, vitamin E, and a whole bunch of minerals. When they're combined, they really get into the hair, they strengthen it from the inside out. If your hair is not breaking, if your hair is growing stronger, it's easier to grow it. Because a lot of the reason why we think our hair is not growing is because it's breaking, because it's weak. Your hair is stronger than it grows, or it looks like it's growing, see, because it's not breaking off. I always get another question, can you use rice water on your skin? I know that you can. I've heard great things about using rice water on your skin. Personally, I have not used it for my skin yet. I don't know why, but it's something that I'll definitely look into. I had got another question, and it is, can you use boiling the bag rice? It's kind of pre-cooked to some extent. So to me, I feel like that would not really work. If it's been pre-cooked, or if it's already been boiled, or if it's already been soaked for some amount of time, then a lot of those nutrients are already going to be gone from the rice. I've never eaten it, and I've definitely never used it in rice water, so I would recommend just using plain rice. That will do fine. I get a lot of questions as well about what kind of rice. Honestly, I think any kind of rice is going to be best. Whatever's in the house, that's what I use, and it seems to work. I feel like a lot of you guys will have been waiting for this question, because this kind of became big news after I made my video. There seemed to have been like a rise of videos, and I definitely saw videos that seemed to be pointing the finger at me a lot. There was a big kind of retaliation against using rice water because it is known to contain arsenic. So this was kind of presented to people as like, boom, scary, everyone's gonna die because rice water has arsenic in it. But the arsenic comes from the rice. Okay, it's no secret. We should all know that there's arsenic in rice, because if you guys didn't know, the way that they grow rice, the fields are flooded. The water contains arsenic. So then the rice that grows in the water contains arsenic. So, you know, we're all chilling. I'm eating rice. I eat rice all the time. I eat rice daily. I love rice. I live in the EU, and in the EU there are guidelines about rice. They say, yeah, the rice is safe to eat. Arsenic levels aren't dangerous. They're what's in the earth. They're in plenty of foods. So I feel as if it's safe to eat, then it's safe to put on my hair, you know. So I personally don't have a problem using rice water, despite knowing, because if the EU says it's safe to eat, then I'm gonna eat it. And if I'm gonna eat it, then I don't mind putting it on my hair. You know, it's not like it comes down to, oh, rice water can give me really long, really strong hair, the best hair of my life, but it might also kill me in the process. Like, it doesn't come down to that. The EU tells me the rice is safe, so I've got no reason to believe that rice water is unsafe. That's all I can say about that. But what I will say is I had some questions from people who had asked me whether they can use rice water on baby scalp, on children's hair, and I would say no. And the reason for that is because the EU, even though they say that these rice levels are safe, they do say that young people, children, babies, who will usually eat a disproportionate amount of food. They'll eat more food per body weight than what grown-ups will eat, and they're more likely to have like strict eating habits where they will only eat rice, or they'll only eat chips. You know, like children, they're quite like, you know, they're fussy, you know, they only eat certain things. So the EU did say that they would recommend restricting how much rice children and babies should be eating. Like, they shouldn't be eating too much. So based on that, I would say don't be using rice water on children's hair and baby's hair. I think I did reply with this to a few people, but I just want to say it here now in this video. If you want to use it in your own hair, fine. I'm going to keep using it in my own hair, but I personally wouldn't be using it on babies. And that's just the same. That's the same with so many products and so many things. You know, you shouldn't be giving babies strawberries, peanuts, pineapples, soy products. You don't want to give any of this to babies. And the same thing, there's a lot of products that are too harsh for babies. So don't be scared of rice water just because of that. You know, babies are very tiny and sensitive to a lot of things. So I think it's quite normal and quite acceptable to accept that this is not something to be using on a baby. So with all that being said, I'm going to continue to use rice water on myself. I'm not scared of it. I'm happy to use it. I've seen great benefits for my hair. The young women have seen great benefits from their hair. That's my response on rice water, my response to your questions, and the response to the shady videos that were created, I feel like, in response to my video. Yeah, that is everything. Like I said, if you guys have more questions, please do drop them down below. I'm happy to answer them. If you guys want to start a discussion, go ahead. So please thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more hair tips and everything else. I'm turning into a bit of an everything channel. I just want to show you guys everything that goes on in my life. I think I live a pretty exciting life. That's everything from me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Bye!